Welcome back to Thru the Ringer. I'm your host, Tate Frazier, and in studio, as promised, Cousin Sal. He's back in the building.
Who did you promise?
I promised you, and you came.
Don't you promise people. You never know. I'm driving a shitty car. It could break down. It's a miracle I'm here.
I don't want an overpromise,
Okay,
but we will have a game where we do over and under reactions.
Are you serious?
Yes. This is my favorite game. This is what we do. I give you a statement. You
We're
tell
doing
me.
it right now?
Yeah, we're going to do an over and
Okay.
under reaction.
All right.
We got a lot to get to. We got the NBA Finals. The matchup is finally here. And let's start there, Sal. Let's start with this. The Indiana Pacers beating the Thunder would be the most shocking upset. I'm going to crack my knuckles. In NBA Finals history, over or under reaction. What say you?
All right. This really doesn't have anything to do with reaction or emotion or opinion, but I'm going to say under reaction because, as our pal Ben Folks points out, since 1969, there have been 16 NBA teams in the finals who have been a plus 250 underdog or more, and only one of them, the Pistons, plus 500 beating the Lakers, which I still don't know how that happened.
I don't either.
They beat them in 5 games?
Yeah, something like that.
That was the only one that stood up.
Right.
We're looking at plus 550 for Indiana. So I'd say under reaction, yes, this would be the most shocking.
I think it would be the most shocking. Like you said, the line is around like 700, it seems. It keeps moving in the other direction. But 2019, the Raptors, they could have been in that conversation. Obviously, the Durant injury happens. 2011 with the Mavericks, you would have think, with the Heatles and with Dirk. That was right around there. But
I think because of the star power of that Laker team, no one, right? Like if SGA gets beat, it'll be shocking and perhaps the most shocking. But that Laker team,
Karl Malone, Gary Payton,
who they have? Obviously Shaq,
Rick Fox,
Kobe, Rick Fox, Bill Walton,
Derek Fisher,
Kuzi. They had all right. Moses Malone. That team was loaded.
Yeah, late stages Kuzi, Sam Perkins, James Worthy.
Rambis.
It's a great
Insane.
team.
I don't know how they won.
They were so good. Let's talk about the New York Knicks because they are obviously at the top of a lot of the talk shows right now. We're talking about Tibbs, of course. Tibbs, Sal, I say to you, deserve to get fired by the New York Knicks. Now, this is not my opinion, but I want to get your reaction over or under reaction.
I know you have a visceral reaction to this, so I don't want to firmly disagree with you. You're a Tibbs guy. All right, I'm going to say ultimately this is an overreaction. He did not deserve it. Am I answering that correctly? He did not deserve it. But I know the Parlay Kid, very near and dear to my heart, yours, JJ, John Jastrzemski, very, very upset about this. I don't think he helped himself out, though, Tate. I'm going to say that. First of all, the whole thing between Tibbs and Thibs, he needed to set that record straight. If you went out here, and it's
we say Tom Thibodeau, but we call him Tibbs.
It doesn't make sense.
It should be either Thibs and Thibodeau.
It's like what people do with the Zags and Gonzaga and it's Zogs. Like, it's not that.
They call it Gonzaga and they say they are the Zags.
If you went by Tate Frazier, but sometimes people were saying Frazier and you never corrected anyone.
Or Frazier,
Simmons would be like, to hell with this guy. We're letting him go. But I don't know.
Can't even stand up for himself.
I don't think, I do feel, I get why maybe the management thought, like, maybe this team has gone as far as they're going to go with this talent, right? We could throw what's the net? What's the net from this? If we put another coach in, are they going to go as far as the second round? You don't think so. You think this is as far as they can go?
I think to describe the Tibbs or Thibs experiment to me is he has the highest floor of all the coaches in the NBA. The highest floor. And unfortunately, the ceiling is very close. So the longer you're with Tibbs, the more claustrophobic it seems.
That trash compactor
because
from Star Wars.
Right? It's getting closer and closer. So the floor is growing, but the ceiling is right here. And the closer you get to the ceiling, the more you're like, wait a second, is that what I think it is? It's the ceiling. We have no more room, and you get claustrophobic, and you get out of the Tibbs situation.
I'm a very claustrophobic person. Just you talking about that makes me want to just start throwing cameras around the room. Like I can't.
That was the Knicks front office, and they said we're done. And Karl Anthony Towns, 2 for 2 with Tibbs, getting him fired.
But I also don't you think like the part of it is like Leon Rose. I know it's his agent, so it was more Dolan, but it's like shit. He never sits these starters. How am I going to get a 4th and a 5th year out of Bruns? How am I going to get right? How am I going to trade these guys when I want to? They're going to be shot. They're going to have nothing left. So I get both sides, but I'll say overreaction.
I'll do the Brian Windhorst right here.
Go ahead.
If I saw Tibbs get fired, I would assume there's another big move coming because Tibbs, if they're going to run it back, I think Tibbs is still the coach of this group because he gets the most out of this group. Now, if you're bringing in another star and you're making another swing, and that star has a lot of cachet and he's a real 1A guy and he wants to pick his next head coach,
Gotcha.
I feel like that would be a
How
conversation.
many of those guys are? Is this Giannis?
Just one, maybe honest.
That's
yeah.
it. All right.
Yeah, you might want to go to New York. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about a guy who does not want to go to New York. Reggie Miller. Sal, Reggie Miller should be banned from calling Pacers playoff games. Over or underreaction?
See, I think I'm going to disagree with you here. I'm going to say this is an overreaction.
Okay.
I think
you like Reggie?
I think I like him fine. I think he handled himself professionally, considering, right? He must have been bursting out of his body. He's a big Pacers fan. He was in that arena, right? It's so much. It's so intimate. It's so personal to him. And by the way, when Halliburton does that choke sign, how does he not? He's probably orgasmic at that point.
Yeah, and he's pointing at him.
Yeah,
you know
pointing silently.
Right.
But he kept it under control. I don't know if he gets a ring out of this or what. But like if LaMelo Ball, you're
I like
a Charlotte
LaMelo,
guy, right?
Yeah.
If he scores 69. And you're at the announcer's table and he points to you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep it together?
I'm gonna point back.
Yeah.
I might even say something.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. So I thought Reggie was fair. My Knicks friends hate that I'm saying that, but I thought he was fairly fair. Bing bong.
I think I have a lot more New York bias coming at me. So as I heard Knicks fans proclaim how much they hate Reggie and how infuriating it is to listen to him while they're watching these games, the Halliburton shot happens, makes it even worse. I can understand the frustration, but like you said, Sal, he kept it pretty professional. Let's talk professional hockey. The Edmonton-Florida Stanley Cup rematch is actually good for the NHL, Sal. Over or underreaction?
Oof. Can we change the name? I know it's your favorite game. Can we change the name to I know or I don't know? Because I really don't know. I really don't know. It should, on paper, be like, this is a rematch of last year. They're both very good teams, right? Florida and Edmonton.
I just read you facts, like scientific facts.
I know.
No, I don't know.
Move on to the next one. I don't know why the sky is blue. I don't know. Listen, if the games are good, then it's good for hockey, right? It sucks that Edmonton has a pretty good goalie right now. You want 2 overtime games in the series. You want a couple 5-4 games. I think I have something written down. There haven't been that many 5-4 games. The last 11 games were decided by 2 goals or more. And I think like only one of those was an empty netter. So hockey needs to step it up in general. I think these two teams are fine for it.
And also Edmonton, if they were able to win, it does feel like a Connor McDavid kind of coronation. That would be good for the sport. You know what I mean? He gets one under his belt. Canada wins a Stanley Cup for the first time since 1993.
That would help.
Yeah, that'd be good
If Wayne Gretzky feathered his hair before the post-game report, that would help.
It would be great.
It's all good.
Yeah, it could all happen.
Everyone's happy.
Let's talk about a guy who's always having a good time, or seemingly so. Larry David going to the Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld wedding was the biggest surprise of the NFL offseason. Sal, over or underreaction?
It's an underreaction.
Did you know this?
I did know it, but I don't get it at all. I don't get any part of it. It seemed like they were shooting an extra season of Curb. He's not a Bills fan. He's a Jets fan, right? Like, does he want Haley to sign his True Grit DVD? Or it almost seems part of an episode, like he left his playbook at Haley Steinfeld's maid with her maid, and he had to get it back at the wedding or something. He let the Jets playbook. I don't know. Help me out. I'm pretty confused.
He needed a way to get in there, and I do think this is a golf relationship. If I had to read between the lines, I'm thinking Josh Allen's playing nice courses in California.
That's it.
Larry David wants to play some golf. Maybe they get paired together. Maybe they hit it off. Maybe they have a great time, and maybe Larry David says, hey, I like this Josh Allen guy.
Was the wedding out here?
It was in California.
Okay, all right.
I think it was in St. Ives.
I know he doesn't drive anywhere.
Yeah,
so
Santa Barbara.
If he could have played immediately before or after, then it makes a little more sense.
Yeah, they played Satakoy, then they drove up, and something like that. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about a guy that you and I enjoyed watching this season. Sometimes for you, depending on if they were playing the Cowboys. Saquon Barkley has us to thank for predicting he'd make the cover of Madden 26. We did say that.
Yes.
Over underreaction.
I looked, first of all, I didn't think this announcement was due until August. I looked, I was like, why are we doing this now? It's not coming out until August. No. They had to rush it because we talked about Saquon being on the cover.
The odds are getting skewed.
This guy wasn't on anyone's radar. Nobody had talked about Saquon Barkley for years and years and years, and there he is. You're welcome, Saquon. Hopefully he signs up to golf with you sometime soon.
Or Josh Allen. Or maybe even Haley Steinfeld. I'm sure she plays. Let's talk about a guy who's really good at golf, Scotty Scheffler. Sal, he's having him having as many wins as the Colorado Rockies in May is the most embarrassing stat in sports. Over or underreaction?
Under. I mean, it's embarrassing and it's great at the same time.
Think about how many more games you play, too, just in baseball.
So it's 28 chances the Rockies had to Scheffler's exactly 4. He played in 4 tournaments.
Four times as many chances.
Started in May. This one ended June, whatever. But Like, I wonder if the Rockies were rooting hard against Scheffler this past weekend at the Memorial.
I would like that. If that's the team bonding, they all get together and we watch Scotty. Yeah, pull against.
It's easier to root against Scotty than to actually win a baseball game. So let's just root against. I mean, it's remarkable. Maybe they should approach the batter's box with a 7-iron or something. Yeah. Let's try what Scotty's doing.
Maybe that's the next game we play, remarkable or unremarkable.
Oh, okay.
And I give you a thing and you decide. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if we're on the mark or not.
Well,
Last
overall,
one.
the reaction has been stolen. So, yes, we definitely have to pivot a little here.
It has been taken. Last one, Boston's Mount Rushmore for the 4 major sports cannot be topped. This is an AAO special.
Well, yeah.
Over and under reaction.
A lot of people. See, I can give credit because a lot of people were talking about it. So, and then I picked up on it, and I ran it for my AAO buffoon buddies. But I'm going to say underreaction. We went over these on Against All Odds. It's Brady, it's Ted Williams, it's Bobby Orr, and it's Bill Russell or Larry Bird, whatever you want to do for basketball. Unstoppable. Detroit comes close with Cobb, Barry Sanders, Isaiah, and Gordie Howe.
But it doesn't help that they don't have like the championship pedigree kind of behind the city.
Yeah.
Not to say they haven't won, but yeah.
New York's close. They don't really have the basketball. LA doesn't have the football, I guess. Aaron Donald, I guess. What would you do for Carolina? I know you don't have a baseball guy unless you go Crash Davis.
Man, I know that's the thing. It's like you would have to almost start like picking and choosing.
Well, so what about the other three?
Characters
what about the other 3
work.
sports you do have?
I mean, the Charlotte Hornets. I think Muggsy Bogues.
My God, Tate. Oh God, this is ugly. Do we? The guy with the chisel is like, really? Can we just pass
Shortest
on this?
to play in the NBA, change the game. Also, maybe we get transitive property Steph Curry. Like maybe because we just take the Curry family. We get the whole Curry family in Charlotte, and then we get Steph and Seth.
It's just the Currys on the mountain.
And Sedell.
I had Kemba Walker for the.
Yeah, that's the Bobcats. That's the thing. Like I don't even care. The Bobcats can't even be on the mountain. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and even though they're Hornets now, like they're still Bobcats.
Are you saying
DNA.
the animal can't live on a mountain?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Julius Peppers for the Panthers. He's
not Cam Newton.
No, Julius Peppers.
Okay, all right.
I think it's got to be Peppers.
And then
no offense to Cam.
Ron Francis for your hockey team, I guess. I don't know.
Rod Brindamore. Let's get Rod Brindamore.
This is so bad.
Yeah,
I think so bad.
I think North Carolina. This goes back to like when I started with Bill. He's just like, I don't understand Carolina. He thinks it's one state. He's like, I don't understand Carolina pro sports. This exercise has proven that he is correct in that fact.
This is not an This was not even like.
We didn't even stretch
out in the morning. Like I don't even know what this is. But.
We've taken the Curry family, and that's the best we can do.
Okay.
Let's go up to Riverboat Captain. Let's do some prop culture because he's always got some fun hypotheticals and some fun questions. This is a good one. Inside the NBA, they had a long farewell tour, and they're not even leaving.
No.
But, again, we have to ask the question, Sal. That's what the captain is asking. Which is your favorite all-time inside the NBA moment? We got the odds here. Shaq running off to the bathroom, waddling off to the bathroom, 3-1. Chuck and Shaq, the chicken wing fight, that was at 5-1. We got Shaq's one-chip challenge where he talked about how he could eat anything hot and he would not make a face. He did, 10-1. We got Chuck San Antonio rants talking about the churros, 25-1. The field at even odds. What say you, Sal?
Man, this is going to seem lame, but so many. I like the simple race to the board.
Yeah, me too. It's so good.
I can't even tell you which one's my favorite, but just
I think the Christmas tree push.
Oh, that was great.
That's a great
That was a good one. But just the idea that they could really easily have torn an ACL.
Of course.
Getting up and running.
Achilles.
Talk about stretching. They haven't stretched at all. Like, like Tom Cruise gets a lot they for doing his own stunts. How about these 60-year-old men running to a wall?
Kenny with those knees?
With those knees, the bad knees, everything. So they should get more accolades. In fact, I feel like we should do that on this show. We should race to the board. See, I'm already up 1-0.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, this is like the wingspan test.
What's the code word? Do we have like a Pee Wee's Playhouse code word?
We got to figure that out.
We'll just pick one.
Cinderella.
2-0. See? You're already behind.
It's going to come up because I'm going to talk about a Cinderella story at some point.
Yeah.
And then oh, Jesus. Got him. I
wasn't paying attention. Now I see.
But again, the game itself, who he played for, all the little bits are just so good. Gone fishing at the end of the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
You can't beat that. My favorite, just because we have a crew back here that's such a great crew that does a great job on the show, the best thing you can do, in my opinion, as like a TV person is to like get the crew going, like make them laugh because they see all the magic behind the curtain. They already know what's going on. It's hard to get get them to break.
We have never done it.
And we've never done it. We're trying to do it right now. But the perfect time, to me, kind of moment that encapsulates it all, they were talking about like getting recognized in public. Charles Barkley said he doesn't really care about it if he gets kind of identified in public. Shaq says he does not like that. Ernie, earnestly, as he always does, was like, who do they mistake you for? And it's one beat, like just one beat, and immediately, as Shaq is about to answer the question, Chuck just comes in quicker than ever and just says Shrek. And the back of the whole control room, everybody, you just hear laughter in the background, and you see Shaq start getting mad at people, and just the fact that like that moment broke everybody was so good. And Shrek, Shaq, just it was so good.
Yeah, I mean they work so well together. Ernie is Prince Charming to Shaq Cinderella.
You got me. You got me.
There.
Oh man, you're 3-1 right now. Yeah. I just lost.
I'm winded.
If we're doing the NBA Finals,
do we have commercial yet? Oh, we got more.
Yeah, we got to let you set some lines.
Oh my God.
Come on.
All right, you can't find these on FanDuel anywhere.
They're fake.
No, they're fake. I'm gonna do them anyway. Over under 10.5 years before Kylie Jenner steps foot in the state of Indiana again. Obviously, she went there with Timothy Chalamet.
Did not stay there, by the way.
Didn't stay. They get right out afterwards, right?
Yeah, they flew out right after. Did not stay there.
So there you go. I don't know. What do you think?
I had the under, and then Tibbs got fired, so now I'm going over.
What?
Because I thought the Knicks would be back. I thought the Knicks would be playing Indiana in the Eastern Conference semifinals or finals, and I thought, hey, let's run it back. Kylie and Timmy, maybe they're dating next year, and this all could happen again. I
thought you were going to say they were going to name her head coach, and so she would have to be. Okay,
maybe that's a good idea. Or Chalamet, maybe they rotate Stiller, Chalamet, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm gonna go over.
So no chance of her purchasing a farm in Muncie, Indiana, or anything like that.
No,
It'll have to be
I don't think
related.
so.
Okay,
it's a nice state though.
All right,
maybe she finds something.
All right, there you go. Over under July 17, 2029, before Aaron Rodgers makes his Steelers decision. I don't know what the rush is. Everyone's like, this poor guy. He's doing research, right?
Yeah, right.
It takes 6 or 7 years. Don't let minicamp scare you.
Apparently, this has already been agreed to, the terms of this contract.
Okay.
And the reason that it hasn't been announced is because Aaron is traveling around.
Sure.
And last year, he got crushed for traveling around during training camp.
Right.
They'd rather him not get crushed for traveling around. So I think...
Guess what? He's getting crushed either way.
I want to take the under here because this is 2029. He will be signed, I think, by August. But yes, this is a very drawn-out process.
Yeah, it might have been too high. July 17th before. Yeah, you're right.
But he's just got to travel, right? You got to go to Egypt.
They could make this a lot easier by just microdosing psychedelic mushrooms on the Permanente sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'll be there in a second.
That'd be great. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
How about this? This one near and dear to me. Over under 3.5 hours that I was stuck in traffic or parking lot at Dodger Stadium Monday night. I'll give you some context.
Yeah, please.
Big Mets fan, right? Took the family to see the Dodgers Mets. I left at 4:50 for a 7:10 game. I'm 16.1 miles away from Dodger Stadium, so round trip that's 32.2, and I drive like effing Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious 3. So go ahead.
I'm going to go over. If you've ever been to a Dodgers game, the first time that you go, you're going to be shocked when you see the traffic pattern. They let you in, and then they let you out, and they shoot it back the same way. It's absolutely ridiculous. And when you're there in the arena, as you were on Monday night, you have to do the math in your mind of like, should I leave at the 6th inning because it's going to take me this amount of time? The longer I wait, the longer it is. So I'm going to go over. I don't know. It was an extra innings game.
I would have said over. If I did this Sunday, it was under, Tate.
Oh,
it was 2.5 hours.
Wow.
I got there in an hour 35 going there, and then I think it helped that it was extra innings because
all the other people had already left.
8th inning, there's 500 cars. Okay, now after 9th inning, oh good, there's another 1,000 cars. Good, I'm staying. Wife's like, can we go with them? I'm like, no, to hell with that. We have like 14 Ghost Runners to watch.
That's what I was telling you before. It's like the zones on the airplane. You just tell her, hey, honey, that was zone 1. We're zone 5. We got a ways to go.
Call my wife honey?
That's what you're saying. I'm speaking for you.
She's my Cinderella.
I knew it was coming. We're going to take a quick break. You stay right there. When we come back, we're going to talk line look-aheads and some track to the futures, the NBA Finals with Cousin Sal. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Thru the Ringer. I'm still your host, Tate Frazier. We're still in studio with Cousin Sal. And Sal, best time of the year, NBA Finals.
Come on.
How excited are you?
They could skip it, right? Is anyone going to care? Just start with the...
You just want to get to OTAs.
Start with the Summer League.
You want the Hall of Fame game.
You go to Summer League. Does anyone at Summer League even know who won the NBA Finals?
Oh, no. They're just talking about Lonzo Ball that one summer, Zion Williamson, the earthquake. Right. Yeah, a lot of just member berries happening. Let's do some line look-aheads. Let's look to the future. Let's start here. Finals pick, series special. If you go to FanDuel, you can find all this stuff. Sal, I'm going to start here. I'm going to give you I got a future for you I'm going to throw at you. So you can go series correct order if you go to FanDuel right now. Here's what I think is going to happen. Game 1, OKC is going to win. Game 2, OKC is going to win. Game 3, Sal, OKC is going to win. Game 4, a little charitable win for the Pacers at home. Crowd's happy. Game 5, OKC wins by 20. They win the championship. You can get that correct order plus 880. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, I think you're right about the 5 games. I don't know if it's ever ended up that way in the finals where a team wins their first 3 and then.
So you like Game 3 over Game 4?
Well, usually the inferior team is so demoralized after losing the first 3. Why would they show up? Why would they?
Pride.
They don't want to lose on their home court.
They don't want to lose on their home court.
But then you're letting the other team win on their home court.
Right.
I don't know.
You think they throw it just to get swept so they get to
I would switch it. I like OKC in 3 and then in Indiana in 3, then OKC wins 4 and 5. What was that, like 6?
Plus 660.
You could do both, by the way.
Right.
You could do both, and then because as long as you think OKC is going to win the first 2, who the hell knows with these games?
And by the way, the Pacers, I mean, their calling card all playoffs has been stealing a game on the road, right? So, I mean, if there was ever a time to kind of fade this idea, it would be with this Pacers team.
OKC won they won every home game, I think, except for Denver in Game 1. So they did lose that Game 1, so that was interesting. But their margin of victory in these home games is like 17 or 8. Well, I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have even mentioned it. But my series pick, if you want,
please.
Isaiah Hardenstein to have the most rebounds. It went down. It was plus 550, I think. It's plus 480 now. Out of the remaining players, no one is in the top 10 in playoff rebounding. Isn't that weird? Out of these 2 teams.
Even if you look at the odds, Halliburton's the 3rd best odds for rebounds.
So you got Holmgren averages 8.4. Hardenstein is 2nd out of the remaining players, 7.9. And Pascal Siakam is down the list with 6 boards a game. I think this is great value for Hardenstein, right? I'm all about value. I've been wearing the same Skechers since COVID.
I love value.
Yeah. You know I'm a value guy.
Yeah, you're a true value guy.
4 double-double board games against Denver and Minnesota. Always solid grabbing rebounds. Plus 480, I think is a good number.
It's a good number, and also I do feel like by the end of this series, we will be pronouncing his name correctly, Hartenstein.
Oh, is Hartenstein?
Not Hardenstein. A lot of Hardenstein coming out.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But Hartenstein, you're right.
Hartenstein. It's a Tibbs and Tibbs thing all over again.
It's happening every single time. Let's do Game 1 specifically. Line look ahead here. This is looking at Game 1 in Oklahoma City. Sal, you have a pick, an adjusted line that you like.
I should say Simmons and I and Joe House and our friend Kevin Hench have SGA. This was a Simmons bet, so good job by him. Plus 210 to win the MVP of the finals. So I'm going to focus on game. He'll get that stolen, right, by someone, even though they win. Minus 14.5. I'm getting adjusted. Like I said, they got tripped up by Denver at home, but beat Memphis by 51 and Minnesota by 26 in Game 1. I think this Indiana team is closer to Minnesota than Denver. And if games they've won at home in the playoffs, this is what I was trying to say before, they've outscored their opponent by 223 points. That's in 8 games, 28 a game. Taking adjusted 2 touchdowns, Thunder by 14.5.
And when they win big, like you said. Yeah. So plus 162, I really like that line. And I do feel like this could be a statement game for the Thunder with their pressure to kind of send the message of, you thought Mikal Bridges was tough with pressure. Wait till you see Lou Dort. Wait till you see Cason Wallace. Wait till you see this team. That's why I like OKC money line and the under in this game. You can parlay those 2 together, get the number at plus 125. The Pacers, right on the nose. They like to play with a lot of pace. The Thunder will slow this game down. I think that's why the under hits, and I think the Thunder are going to make them feel that physicality, and I think they're going to dominate
Thunder
this
have been
game.
Involved in games where the other team has 8 points after a quarter, so it can definitely for sure happen.
That's what they do. But again, the NBA playoffs, a lot of fun. Go to FanDuel Sports, but go check out all the odds there. Sal will be breaking it down on winning weekend, some even more specific numbers to look at. Let's do the Stanley Cup Finals line look ahead here. Sal, who do you like for the Conn Smythe, and what should we be looking for in this series?
Well, all right, I like the Panthers, but I found this on FanDuel. This is fun. Nationality of the Conn Smythe winner. Field.
They got everything.
Plus
this is not a fake prop.
It's really great. I mean, it's amazing. It brings some nationalism and slightly racist. I don't know. You want to say, so Canada's minus 130.
It's like people, SGA is Canada versus USA.
Exactly. That's another
Same
one.
thing,
Right.
yeah.
So McDavid's plus is minus 130 if you want Canada. So that's McDavid. Then you have the Field at plus 175. USA is plus 3,100. That's not happening unless Emilio Estevez comes back from Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know. So I'm going to go Field. This is going to be a Russian, and Russians are very popular with voters right now. Bobrovsky and Barkov, both for Florida. That's who I think is going to win. So instead of taking Florida at even odds, I'm taking Bobrovsky and Barkov, a.k.a. Field nationality, plus 175.
Plus 175, you can get it, and you got two good options there if you take the Field. I like Bobrovsky to win the Conn Smythe. I think Sergei Bobrovsky, we talk a lot about, obviously, Steph Curry and the fact that he can play till forever, LeBron, Tom Brady, all these guys. Bobrovsky's on that list. I don't know how he's doing it, but I feel like I've been hearing about this guy since I was in high school, and he's still playing at the highest level. So you can get the Conn Smythe number, plus 280 for Sergei Bobrovsky.
He got a little rooked last year.
Yeah.
When the McDavid from the losing team won it, but anyway, so.
This is a chance for Sergei to get it done. Let's do our MLB play of the day for Wednesday. Line look ahead here, Sal. Who do you like on the board, and what should we be
Tigers minus 1.5 runs over the White Sox. White Sox have a little breathing room because Colorado is so bad. So bad, right? So they're like, okay. But make no mistake about it, they're a heap of crapola themselves. Tigers second in runs scored in the American League. White Sox second to last. You have Casey Mize, who's an underrated gem in this keg of jewels, is what I want to say. 6-1, 2.82 ERA. I'm going to go Tigers minus 1.5.
I like that call there. We mentioned them in the first segment. They are a heap of garbage themselves, and this will be no Cinderella story. I am going to take the Marlins over the Rockies.
Is that a false start? A Cinderella story? A little bit.
Kitty gets on one foot every once in a while, leaning. Marlins minus 130 over the Rockies. Shout out to Scotty Scheffler. He's still going to keep getting more wins. Let's do the French Open, Sal. Another line look ahead here. We got the men's semifinal matchup. We got Alcaraz taking on Harry's guy. This is a complete showdown. What
he can't win. I mean, he can win, but we can't let him win because Harry will not shut up about him. He got him at 44-1 odds. Alcaraz is what, minus 490? Should win this. I have him straight sets minus 108. He's 5-1 against Musetti. He's won 13 out of 15 sets. This is going to be tough. He slipped up a couple rounds against Shelton. He lost a set, was close in a couple, but he's kind of flying now. I like Alcaraz straight sets minus 108. And to hell with Harry's pick. What are you going with?
Yeah, both these guys, by the way, knocked out all the Americans. Alcaraz took out 2. Tiafoe got knocked out by Musetti, Harry's guy. So, right now we have to turn to someone as an American sports fan. I think Alcaraz is the right answer. He loves clay. And he obviously is the favorite, minus 120. I told you last episode to bet it when it was a plus number.
The whole tournament.
To win the whole tournament.
There you go.
So there you have it. Alcaraz, minus 120 to win the French Open. Sal, I appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, man.
Where can we find all your work? And they'll let you go.
Find it right here on FanDuel TV. Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend, Friday morning. Sean O'Malley. He's at a blockbuster UFC event coming up this Saturday. And I have the D3, the beloved Degenerate Trifecta. So that'll be fun and against all odds on the Ringer Podcast Network.
Go check it out. Sal's the best. We appreciate you coming on the show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break to talk OKC Thunder with the Ringer's very own Tyler Parker.
And Cinderella.
Yeah. And, oh, God. We'll see you right after the break. Welcome back to Thru the Ringer. As promised before the break, joining us now, the Ringer's very own OKC correspondent and extraordinaire, just as a writer in general, Tyler Parker. Welcome back to the show, man.
Happy to be here. Thank you for the new title. I'm excited for that.
Yes, an OKC consultant, someone, a correspondent, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about the Thunder because I want to get your thoughts on this. The Thunder have made the NBA Finals. The prince that was promised, SGA, has delivered at least the first step. Just general big picture vibes right now with OKC.
Can't believe it has all worked out. I will want to knock on wood after every single thing I say in this segment.
Yes, we have wood under the table.
Thank you so
You're
much.
Knocking, yes.
Just how the injuries that have happened haven't mattered that Chet can be down for as long as he was, even Hartenstein, Caruso not playing a ton this year. It just is. I feels very lucky to be a Thunder fan, to have had this other dynasty supposed thing that's going to happen, that was supposed to happen, 12 years ago, and it doesn't. To get to have another shot at it feels it feels like we are not worthy. You know what I mean? I'm very happy, and I'm just trying to enjoy the moment because I know how out of nowhere it can just collapse.
Yeah, and 13 is usually viewed as an unlucky number. I was born on the 13th, so I view it as lucky. But 13 years since 2012, like you said, it's been a respawn of a new core, a new big three. The questions were asked all along. Could Jalen Williams actually be a number 2? Could SGA actually be a number 1? Could Chet actually be a guy who could help you in the playoffs? Check, check, check.
Yeah.
We're in the NBA Finals. Does it feel now where, okay, we're really cooking here and we're forecasting the future, or because of how you've been burnt in the past, you're just like, please let me enjoy every single day?
I'm really trying to keep my mind where my feet are, Tate.
Good.
I'm really trying to not project
I like
too
the
much.
present tense.
You know what I mean? Like,
good.
it would be silly for me to sit here and tell you I have not thought about the possibility of what this run might look like and how long it could go for. And it would be silly for me to sit here and say that I haven't thought about the fact that they are 26, 23, and 22 in terms of the top 3 dudes on the team. The 22 and the 23-year-olds still years away from the beginnings of their primes. So it's hard to not be like, oh, wow, we're kind of set up here. But again, I've just when Game 5 of the 2012 finals ended, I remember thinking, this is so awesome that they're like, this will be a rivalry here for a while. Like, the Thunder get to be the LeBron's rival when he starts finally winning titles. Like, they're going to be the ones that are going toe to toe. And yeah, I mean, less than 4 months later, during an Oklahoma Notre Dame football game, smooth move by Presti there, trying to drop it during.
Those people are looking. It's like sleight of hand, right?
Dude, it was like, we're like watching Manti Te'o sack Landry Jones, and then it's you see the Woj bomb come. So yeah, I'm trying to just stay in the present.
Well, let's talk about the comparison, obviously. We have the Kevin Durant era of the Thunder, right? And then we have the SGA era now. There's a lot of conversation. Who's going to be the greatest Thunder player ever? If SGA does go and finish the job here, now we're talking statue, right? Like, we're in statue territory where it's like SGA at the age of 26 is going to get a statue in Oklahoma City. Jokic is probably going to get one. Giannis will definitely get one in Milwaukee, right? There's a certain group of guys in the league.
Steph will get one in Golden
LeBron
State.
will probably force one in LA.
LeBron could have 2. He'll have the
Cavs.
3. He will have 3.
He might have 3.
You're right. He'll know that Kobe's got multiple in LA, and he'll be like, I need one there, but I'm going to be the first guy with 3 statues.
And he goes to the Heat, and he's like, you guys put Jordan's jersey up there and retired it. Like, I need a statue. At least I won you 2 rings. So he's getting 3 statues. So when you're talking about a statue guy, like, getting into that level for SGA, like, does this seem surreal?
Yes.
At this point, and like, how would you keep Shea kind of present tense, as we talked about? It's hard in today's time.
It's really hard because yes, it feels surreal. It is insane that if they win the finals, I think the only guy that has won the regular season MVP, conference finals MVP, and the finals MVP is Wilt. I think he's the only dude who's done that. That's crazy. Anytime you get in a category where the only 2 people that exist in it are you and Wilt.
It's kind of like when Giannis had 50 in the finals, where it was like him and Jerry West. Like, when you're on, it's the 2 of us, just the 2 of us. You're special, right?
Yeah. I think that a statue, unless something goes crazy wrong, Tate, I think a statue is a certainty. It'll be right out there next to Russ's. I don't know how to keep.
I appreciate you pointing out Russ, by the way.
I don't know how to keep his feet on the ground after a season like this. Like, if he continues to cook the way he has in the playoffs throughout the finals, and Nesmith is a good defender, Nembhard's a good defender. I think Shea's just too big for them. As long as he's hitting, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they can. I'm not sure that defense can present him enough problems to slow him down to the point that the Pacers have a chance. So at least not over the course of a series. And so I don't know. It will be. If I were him at the end of this season, I would be thinking, can't none of y'all say shit to me. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy. Take your face of the league discussions elsewhere. Who cares? I'm the one that matters now. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So it would surprise me to see him come into next year anything but riding as high as possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not going to be ready to go.
Yeah, he's going to be ready to go. He has been ready to go. And the maturation of Shea in real time, as people that are watching him, you can kind of see his own wheels spinning and the confidence growing. You also have, a coach over there who has empowered this young group, and now they have kind of reaped the rewards of all that work. Are we worried that once we get to this stage and they're in the finals, first-time jitters come into play at all? Because we just don't know, right? I mean, sometimes you see guys get their sea legs, even in the playoffs, right? We see guys come in, they're so talented, they struggle early, then they get it figured out. Do we think there is a little bit of a curve for the Thunder, maybe?
I think there totally could be. Daigneault.
Luckily, the Pacers will have the same thing.
That's the hope. And, Daigneault, by and large, this postseason has done a good job. He did have some screw-ups there early on in that Nuggets series in Game 1 whenever they were just fouling way too quickly when they were up 3 at the end. I think that there will be games in this series that the Thunder come out tight. It wouldn't surprise me if Game 1 they come out tight. It wouldn't surprise me if Game 3 they come out tight. And, if it gets to an elimination game, obviously, the beginning of that Game 7 against the Nuggets was some ugly basketball. So they're capable of short arming stuff and getting tight. The thing that I thought about whenever you were asking me about Shea was I went back and saw the Thunder. I forget if it was in February or January, but I saw them play a couple different games, one of them against the Jazz, and that was the night that Shea went for 50, which I think is his career high at this point. I'm fuzzy on the numbers, but it was his career high whenever he scored it. And I got to talk to him after the game. I got to just ask him a couple questions just solo. And one of the things that he had brought up in the media little availability was about how important it is to be in the moment and everything like that. And I asked him, I was like, I've heard quotes about Michael Jordan that people say that one of the reasons he was so great is because there was nobody more in the moment than him. Is that something that you're thinking about? And he just gave a very interesting answer about especially when you're on these heaters and stuff and when you really feel like you've got it going, there's almost not a ton of thought going on in the front of your head. You're just sort of giving yourself over to the flow state and just going. And him kind of being thoughtful about that in a regular season game against the Jazz, I was just kind of you're really you're thinking about this stuff is not just for the Jazz. You know what I mean? You're crafting an entire worldview and way of thinking about this stuff that's going to benefit you on down the line whenever everybody's dogging you after Game 3 in the Nuggets series because y'all let another one slip. He just is able to stay within himself in a way. He's there to play basketball. And I know that the detractors will be and flop or whatever, but hey, great joke.
You did it. Great joke. You crushed it. SGA, been special throughout this entire time. I saw something from his AAU coach talking about when he was younger, he would have these routines and he would do drills by himself and he'd be over in the corner and they always would kind of be we don't know what he's going to be, but there's something happening over there. There's something marinating in this kid's mind where he has a routine, he has an expectation of himself. Those are the traits and qualities that lend itself to being a great one. And he definitely has all those traits and definitely looks the part.
He was talking about it from early on in his time in Oklahoma City that, he realized that the best players of all time play on both ends. And so he made a concerted effort to be better on that end, and you cannot pick on him in the way that you can some other lead ball handlers. And like the Thunder are going to try to put Halliburton in as many pick and rolls as they possibly can in this series. The Pacers can try that like other teams have with Shea, but there's just nothing going there, really. You know what I mean? Like, so that he is so additive on both ends is just gigantic for the way they've been able to build the team. It's why the defense can be so good. That's one of the reasons the defense can be so good, is because your big money, high profile scorers will also scrap on that end, which is not something you can say about all of them.
Yeah, and talk about a team that knows how to defend on the perimeter as a team. They all take care of each other. It's a beautiful thing to watch. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're actually going to break down Game 1. You're going to be in the building in Game 1, so we're going to talk OKC in person with Tyler Parker, and we'll talk the matchup with the Pacers. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Thru the Ringer. We're in studio with Tyler Parker, and we're talking, guess what? NBA Finals. It's officially happening.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Oklahoma City. Just first and foremost, boots on the ground. You will be there.
Yeah.
What is that environment? I mean, I love watching it on TV, but you're going to be like, what is that going to feel like?
I honestly am so excited because I don't know. I think, like, I was there for Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. That's the biggest game that I've been to at that building. And yeah, I mean, I will never forget Brian Phillips writing something at Grantland whenever the Thunder lost to the Grizzlies during the season when Russ tore his meniscus. And he talked about being in the building at then I guess it would have been the Ford Center still, but he said that it felt like he was inside a collapsing star. It's like he could, and that.
Great writing.
I think about that. I think about, like, it is one of those places where it's so loud that your head feels full. You know what I mean? Like you feel and yeah, it can.
And if you're a fan, like your face is sore after the game, you know? Like that's the vibe.
And the way this Thunder team plays, like they go on a lot of runs, or they're capable of going on a lot of runs, and that crowd in the midst of a run, it's just the screaming doesn't stop. And then if there's any sort of punctuation on it, big three, big alley-oop, big steal that leads to a dunk on the other end, whatever. It just goes from, roars to just like banshee choir. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I think it will be as loud as it's ever been there. I think even louder than in 2012 because the fans will appreciate it more. 2012, like the Thunder had just arrived. And
it was like lightning in a bottle, right?
Nobody knew how lucky. Well, you knew you were lucky, but you didn't know how quickly it was going to fade for you. You know what I mean? And so I really think that there's just been more years here where the Thunder fans have kind of established themselves as one of the fan bases that like shows up for their home games.
One of the best
really
in the
loud.
NBA, right?
And so I think that the fans take they like that reputation. You know what I mean? And I think that they come into it with a lot of juice trying to like meet the bar. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They're going to meet the bar.
Yeah.
And they are going to be, honestly, they're going to meet lots of people at the bars probably after the game and have a great time. A lot of bars will be met.
Hey, I would love to meet y'all there. I'll see y'all around.
Tyler Parker will say hello there. Let's talk about the game. So this is the Pacers, and it's kind of on the nose, but it's all about pace with the Pacers. We saw that against the Knicks. If they can play a certain pace, get a certain amount of possessions, it's pretty much they were going to win the game, and that's what they were able to do. When you look at the Thunder, they can play a lot of different ways, but pressure is probably the operative term here. The Dortcher chamber, Lou Dort, we know what he's able to do. When you kind of look at this matchup, obviously minus 750 for the Thunder in this series. They're a heavy favorite, but pressure versus the pace, what does that look like? And like, what do the Thunder do to stifle the Pacers?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think like the time where everybody is going to be the most locked in is when the Pacers are on offense and the Thunder are on defense. Like the most fireworks are going to happen there. The Pacers are.
Lou Dort will be guarding Halliburton.
Oh yeah, I mean Halliburton will get guarded. Halliburton will get guarded by Dort, by Kaysen, by Caruso, by Jalen Williams.
Right.
he'll get guarded, but I mean, Chet will guard him in switches and stuff like that. Like he's gonna.
They'll make him go 1-on-1 against a big. Like they'll let him do that.
They'll at least start that way. Now, if he just starts hitting step back after step back, then they'll make some adjustments. They're never afraid to double somebody hard and get the ball out of their hands. And I mean, Dort has been historically good at guarding Halliburton, has just given him fits both times they've played this year.
And so physical.
And in the past, like the game last series, whenever Halliburton had his worst outing, was the one game where Mikal Bridges really got into him and got physical with him. That's the way that every single Thunder player is going to play with them. So
especially Cason Wallace. I think Cason Wallace was the one, to me at least, in the Timberwolves series where Ant thought he was almost getting a break.
Yeah.
And then it's maybe even worse.
No, he's like a silent killer. You know what I mean? Like Caruso's loud about it. Dort is quiet, but his play is very loud. Wallace is just like, I'm laying in wait.
So low.
He's a crocodile.
Right.
And it's just when you make yourself vulnerable to him, his hand's always going to be in the right spot. He's just so quick. And he can take it the other direction and put somebody in the rim at whatever he is, 6'1" or whatever. And so I think that if you were going to build a team to give this Thunder defense some problems, it would probably look a lot like the Pacers. Great point guard that doesn't turn the ball over, surrounded by a bunch of shooters, and guys coming off the bench that can get hot and kind of match some of the Thunder energy whenever they're coming in off the bench, you know what I mean? That said, I'm not sure that they've got enough gas defensively to be able to do what they need to do over the course of a series. I could see them winning 1, even 2, because I don't want to come in too aggressive and have this prediction thrown back in my face. So my pick was Thunder in 6. That's more out of respect for just how incredible the Pacers' offense has been, and that Carlisle's the coach, and he's so wily and smart. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be enough.
We're going to have a very entertaining finals. You're going to be boots on the ground. Tyler Parker, where can we find your work? And then we'll let you go enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Ringer, buddy. Just right here.
There.
Yeah, they right there. I'll be doing. I'll have
writing, of course.
I think I'll have 3 different things that'll come over the course of the finals, depending on how the first 2 games go. I got a piece coming with me and Dollinger are going back and forth, a Thunder fan and a Pacers fan, kind of discussing the series. And then I'm going to bring back the Tank Diaries for after the thing's over, try to circle that off and, Yeah, so that's the plan.
And then we'll get into summer league mode because it's
crazy.
Yeah, the best time of year. Yeah. Tyler Parker, you're the best. We appreciate you coming on the show, and good luck to the Thunder in the finals, man.
Always good to see you, buddy.
All right, there you have it for another edition of Thru the Ringer. Thanks to Cousin Sal, as always, for coming on the show. Thanks to Tyler Parker for breaking down OKC and the finals. And thank you for tuning in to Thru the Ringer. We will see you next week.